That's an interesting question because we buy beef only from certain regions in the country. You know, I have a long-standing relationship with a lot of major packers in the industry, and I'm region-specific more than packer-specific. You know, there's a lot of beef in a lot of different areas of the United States. That is good beef, but it's not beef that we're going to sell. The food cost is most important. And you take your food cost, and it's how we yield our meat and how we cut our primals that we could go to these people and say, hey, what do you have on your menu? How could we help you? Let's take a look at where we feel you're spending a little too much, where we can help you with certain different cuts, show you different cuts, or get you that filet mignon that you want at the price point you need to sell it at. And that's where the love comes. You know, anybody could just cut a ribeye steak. Anybody could just cut a strip steak. But it's what you do and how that steak looks on the center of that plate that makes it special. You know, and we take that step further. Most of all is what's in our box. You know, I want that chef to open that box and say, wow, those are beautiful steaks. I can't wait to taste one.
I'm very proud to serve the steaks, the dry aged meats. When they cut fillets for me, I couldn't do it that well myself, and it would take me a long time. So they do a great job for us.
Once we started cooking it up, just the compliments we were getting just from our customers coming in all the time saying, oh my God, like the filet is just unbelievable. It's like melting your mouth, and that's what we really like. So we love hearing those compliments. So, I mean, you just can't beat it.
Dakota Packing comes in here and says they can do a better job and they can do it cheaper, and I'm like, I don't think so. But let's see. Well, it turns out they can do it just as good as I can, and actually cheaper.
That's where we kind of shine, is in the service there, because your larger places are just not able to stop everything and change wheels and go.
We could individually pack each steak for our customers with speed and consistency, or we could bulk pack, or we could banquet pack. It's basically what we do is work our business around our customers' business, because in the end they have to get what they want.
They're always in a hurry. That's true. They're always in a hurry. They always want it, and they want it right away. So, am I right, buddy? That's right. All the time they want something, I go like, what do you need?
The same way, if we need something out of Jose and we got to hurry and the customer needs it, it's an emergency, all we got to do is go and tell them. 5 minutes later, we're walking out the door with the box. You know, and if a chef up in Jackson Hole calls me and says, hey, how do I get your steaks? Just order them, chef, you'll get them. You know, chefs in Florida call, hey, Colin, we need some steaks. How do we get it here? Put in an order, they'll be there. And that's how, we just built, we did our legwork, we made sure we did it the right way. So we cut out the problems in between. So if a chef orders, he knows when he's going to expect it. Truck arrives, takes it off. It's the same steak we served them here in Las Vegas. Everybody will take a primal of beef and they'll just whack off the ends and make it square. We look at the primal of beef. They're taught how to look at that primal of beef, because when you take it and square it up and whack it off, that costs your customer money. It's how do you work that angle into the center cut of the steak. And that's what I teach these guys, that you don't just take a knife and go, boom, okay, it's square, we can start cutting. All meat is broke with an angle, and it's broke with an angle for a reason. So we're going to take that angle and work it into our process so it shows in our yield. That's how we control our price also. Sometimes that'll save 50 to 75 cents a pound because you're yielding the piece of meat better. That also goes back to the respect factor of what you have in your hand. That piece of meat started as, something, and here it is on our table. All that legwork went in between to get it there. Let's do the best with what we have.
We know what we're doing. I mean, how to trim the meat, how to cut the meat, the best product, give it the best presentation, the same size of the meat, the same size of the steak. That's what we do.
So I'm Carmine Romeo. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was brought up in a gourmet butcher shop in Brooklyn, New York, and we only had high-end beef. We had dry aging, in the 70s and the 80s. And that's where I learned. I learned on hanging beef. I didn't learn on box beef. I was breaking hinds of beef at 9 years old. The meat business has come so far from the farm to the plate. And it's the handling, and it's the feed, it's the further processing, the packaging, the boxing, everything we went through here. The beef itself has changed a little bit. I mean, there's different breeds now, you know, that come along that we use, and you know, we use them because their middles are longer, you know, and their hinds and their chucks are shorter. We've expanded our product line. We've got high-end pork lines. We have Berkshire pork lines. We have Duroc pork lines. We have all natural pork lines. We are doing some dry-aged pork for certain customers. We do the same thing with lamb. You know, we use 3 different lamb vendors, all Colorado-based, for true Colorado lamb. My focus is to control our growth by doing it right. You know, if we do become that big, huge company, it's still going to be a family company. It's still going to be the heart and soul, the guts. It's what makes Americans, you know, live in America. It's your passion, it's your guts, it's what you want to do.
You know, my favorite piece of meat is a ribeye. The 22 ounces ribeye prime, that's the best.
Any meat guy's going to pick a rib steak.
My favorite steak is stew meat. No, I'm just kidding. My steak's the same as Jose. I like a good ribeye. I like more of the loin end where you don't get that kernel fat. And but I like a dry-aged prime, a nice marbling in the steak. It just gives you that flavor and that aroma.